Hey, fellow Flatheads. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about something very exciting. This is the BGVP DX7. I really like this Flathead. And it makes me excited that there's another more accessible option for people to try. You know, IEMs get so many. They get all the cool stuff and a bunch of releases. It's so easy to get IEMs. That's why I was very excited when one of our homies on our Discord server actually was in contact with BGVP and got them to send us out this for review. So just to let you know, this was sent over by BGVP for review. They didn't ask that I say anything in particular. Actually, I didn't even speak to them. Okay, it was all done through our liaison. So thank you, homie, for hooking us up. You awesome homies keep this community and channel running. So I sincerely appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into what's in the box. Let's, move it along. We're taking too long. Look at us yapping over here. So 99 bucks, 100 bucks, basically $99 for a 14.2 millimeter dynamic driver earbud. Unboxing was top tier. Like, this thing was great. Best Flathead unboxing I've ever had. Everything was just presented very nicely. The whole set is cohesive, and that's something I'm very big on. I want the product to feel like a singular, complete product, not just a bunch of parts thrown into a box off of a shelf that then they try to sell to us. Accessories are on the generous side. You not only get a lot of them, you actually get good quality accessories as well. So you get a modular cable with a 3.5 plug and a 4.4 balance plug. The other cool thing about this set is this cable is removable. It is an MMCX connector. So that means that you can actually use these with Bluetooth adapters. That's kind of cool. You can have these wireless. I didn't try them because I don't have a Bluetooth MMCX adapter, but keep that in mind. Cable is also very light and thin, easy to live with. It is very important. See, much more than with IEMs, that Flatheads have good cables. First of all, they need to be pretty. Like, they're not pretty, then what are you doing? We need a pretty cable. The whole thing needs to be pretty. And then it needs to be light and easy to use, because Flatheads don't have as secure of a fit as IEMs. So once you have a pretty cable, it has to be an easy to use cable. There was a few types of foams. They seemed like they were all the same density. Just there was a couple of full foams and then a couple of full foams in different colors. And then there was a couple of donut foams. There's actually an extra pair of tuning nozzles because you can also tune this set. There is little tuning nozzles on top of the stem that you can unscrew and then screw in the backup ones, and they just control the airflow that comes in. I stayed on the stock ones. Stock ones were fine for me. I believe the second set is supposed to increase mid bass a bit and dip the mids a bit. But the important thing is these are easy access. They're literally designed to be messed with. So if you like to tinker, you need to try these out, because what can you stick in there? What can you stick in the nozzles? You can put some filters in there, put some tissue paper in there. You can put some sunny fur in there. Possibilities are endless. See what gives you the best sound. It's like EQ with extra steps and more work, but more fun. There's also a cable clip, and there is a pair of silicone ear hooks, which these ear hooks are awesome. I ended up using them quite a bit, and I actually found some that are similar on AliExpress, and they come in a bunch of different colors. There's like 8 or 10 different colors, and they're like 30 cents each. So I'm probably going to just buy one of each color. I'll leave a link in the description. That way you guys can find it easier. But I'll probably buy one in each color and then just like have them on all my Flatheads. I don't know if I can go back to no ear hooks on Flatheads. Even the ones like MX500 shells that fit me pretty well, the ear hooks just made it more secure. I'm using, Flatheads on walks more now and stuff like that. So life-changing for us Flatheads. And now possibly the best part of this package. Dude, look at this case. This case is beautiful. It feels like leather. It's probably not leather. I don't think any of these are leather. A good size. It holds everything in there. It reminds me a lot of the Elysian Pilgrim case. It feels almost just like that, except it's a little bit longer. So it has a little bit more room, but overall top notch. Before I even listened to it, I know people hated when I said that in a previous review, but before I even listened to this, I was impressed. I do, give a lot of attention to this sort of thing. It's just something that appeals to me. I'm not buying stuff for just sound. I feel like after you find a couple of decent sets that you enjoy, why are you going to keep buying for sound? You're not chasing for sound. You want good products if you're going to keep buying. Don't get ripped off. It's your money. Keep the companies honest. Make them deliver. Going back to the shell, it is aluminum alloy. They have a fancy like aircraft aluminum alloy thing in the description, and the shells are beautiful. They are very lightweight. I actually prefer when earbuds are a little bit heavier, so they kind of just securely hook in. But again, with the ear hooks, it didn't matter. It was secure regardless. Overall, the size of the earbuds are pretty close to, standard MX500 shells, but the way that they're kind of rounded on the front, on the cover, keeps it from just like, completely pushing up against my ear canal. So there's just that little bump, it feels like, on the front of the earbuds. So that might affect some of you guys' fit. Keep that in mind. But again, ear hooks, and I had no issues. Oh, also this earbud, having a removable cable, when I opened it up, when I opened the box, the earbuds aren't connected to the cable. So I went to go connect them to the cable. I found the right cable and the left cable. And then my dumbass sat there trying to figure out which one is the right earbud and the left earbud. They're the same. The cable's going to dictate which side it is. Both of the earbuds are the same. They're identical, but I sat there forever, like good 7 minutes, trying to figure it out. Looking all over the shelves. I can't find the damn R. I can't find the damn L. There's no colors and no nothing. They're identical. So just a little tip. If you guys end up buying this, that way you know ahead of time, don't make a fool of yourself. All right, let's go ahead and move on to sound impressions. This is a Flathead. We don't have any of those weirdo silicone ears here because those are not allowed in my home. So no graph, unfortunately. But I mean, graphs are barely, a thing for IMs. There's so many variables you can easily discredit a graph for those. It's just a lot more of a meme with earbuds. So like, I don't know, like maybe I'll draw one here. Here's a graph. This is the graph of the BGVP DX7 as portrayed by me. There you go. So let's go over some keywords for the set. Keywords are spacious, clean, technical, professional, and breathtaking. So let's go ahead and put those into context for you guys. Starting off with the bass. Bass is, like I mentioned, clean. It is a little bit on the leaner side, but this is what's impressive about the set. It still extends very well. So you get the mid bass, which is not a lot. It's adequate. To me, it's a neutral. It's enough for it to accurately portray the note weight of anything I played on this. Oh, which maybe add another keyword, versatile. We're going to add that to the keyword because it feels so versatile. So this set overall, like most earbuds, it is front-ended in the bass. Mid bass has the priority, impact, that thump. It's really nice. On this set, it has that thump, but it's not a lot. It's not what you usually expect from earbuds. It gives you that thump, but it doesn't cloud anything. It doesn't veil anything. It's not muddy at all. Very clean. And then the sub bass extends very well. You get a lot of sub bass. Like this set feels like I'm not missing much, if at all. I get an adequate amount. It is, again, over on the leaner side. Keep that in mind. I want to try to convey that as best as possible. It is on leaner side, but you're not missing a lot because it's not rolling off that much. It extends extremely well. Good rumble, especially on music that calls for it. Good rumble, mid bass, impactful. Gives the overall tonality a nice note weight. Adequate, maybe a little bit lighter than the average earbud. Mids are pretty level. They feel adequate again in the note weight. So a lot of instruments and vocals sound natural and sound full, but not lush, but they're also not cold and lifeless. Female vocals sometimes get a little too intense. They have just a bit of gain, but it feels like it's a little early. So female vocals can come off as just a bit shouty, but they don't get sharp or sibilant. They just get a little intense, especially since overall the sound signature comes off as pretty level, and there is, just a natural earbud roll off in the bass and in the treble. Even though it's less than usual, it still just emphasizes vocals a little bit. So female vocals, especially my library K-pop, they can get a little intense. Male vocals are pretty neutral overall. Like, they have body. They're not cold. They're not thin. They're not too pushed back. They're just kind of right there in the middle. To me, they sound accurate. They sound good. Like, I enjoy male vocals on this set, but I feel like some people are going to want a little bit more lush. Same thing with female vocals. For me, they sounded fine, but some people might want a little bit more. I actually would prefer a little bit more of that lower treble, the presence, to give it sharpness. They sounded more natural, just less sharp. And I enjoy that extra definement. I want the vocals to pierce a little bit. And then also just like some of those intense instruments like electric guitars or a lot of those synths, I want them to have more bite, more aggression. They're pretty leveled on this set. And then going into the treble, it is very similar to the story we have with the bass. It extends extremely well, but it does taper off a bit, especially towards the end. So there's no extra shimmer or sparkle. It doesn't come off as splashy. Cymbals sound pretty natural and decay well. It's actually pretty impressive how well it extends. It's just not a lot. So treble, and for my preference, could have been boosted just a little bit more, especially, like I mentioned, lower treble. But it still does a great job. Like, the tuning on this set with the stock nozzles is great. It's amazing, and there's nothing else that I have that's a Flathead that is close to this. So it even makes it more unique in that regard. As for techs, these are very, very good. Stage is super wide. Like, the stage is so open, spacious. It gives a very grand feel, and that's where the breathtaking comes in, because the techs are also very good. There's a lot of good detail retrieval on these and good separation. Everything's just so clean, so everything just feels so big and immersive. Timbre for me was adequate, but I feel like some people might want a little bit more warmth, a little bit more body or musicality, that little fuzziness, the analog sound as some people call it. These are, on the cleaner side, but it just makes it feel, that much more capable. That driver keep up with busy stuff. There was a lot of busy songs that I tried these on, and it's just very clean. Like, these are great. Now we're going to compare to one of my usual recommendations, especially for new people, but this set's also great in its own regard. This is the Dunu Alpha 3, which still holds up, by the way. Even now, like, a year later, which is in sci-fi years, that's like a decade, still holds up. Great Flathead. If you are a member of the Flathead Society, consider having one of these in your collection. So comparing straight across in build and accessories to the Alpha 3, overall, they're pretty even. The cable on the Alpha 3 is kind of annoying to use now that it's, it's gotten more wear and tear. It's stiffened up a little bit in some parts, and it's non-detachable. But I actually really like the shells of the Alpha 3, and they're very comfortable. I fit them more comfortably than I did the DX7. But the DX7 has detachable cable, and I have a cat, and he likes to eat Flathead cables. I just realized this. He's only destroyed Flathead cables. He has not destroyed IEM cables. So, and overall accessories, I mean, DX7 wins. It just gives you so much, but the accessories on the Alpha 3 are adequate, especially for its price range. They both feel like they're built very well. The Alpha 3s are just a lot heavier and feel more sturdy in that regard, but I mean, I haven't had any issues with the DX7. They don't feel flimsy. They feel solid. They're just really light. Alpha 3 is a lot more enveloping. It does surround you a little bit more, and it's a little bit more intimate, so it feels a lot closer. There is a little bit of extra definement in the lower treble with the Alpha 3, so it gives you that better, bite and aggression that I was missing on the DX7. But at the same time, Alpha 3 is more fatiguing in that regard. Alpha 3 also has more bass. It doesn't extend as much, doesn't feel as, you know, open, and it doesn't feel like it gets as distant as the DX7, but there is a good amount more bass. And for my library, it plays it better than the DX7. DX7 is more on the neutral end and more versatile in that regard, but Alpha 3 plays, you know, that fun, energetic type music better. Same thing on the treble side. It doesn't extend as much on the Alpha 3 as it does on the DX7, but there's more of it on the Alpha 3. And then as for text, Alpha 3 is decent, but I would take the DX7's text. It overall is cleaner, more spacious. The stage is a lot wider and a lot more vertical. It just feels more spacious, especially in the center stage when you have a lot of sounds all together. It keeps more distance in between those sounds on the DX7 compared to the Alpha 3. Alpha 3, especially on busier stuff, feels like it can get a little bit, you know, congested, stumbling over itself just a little bit. And it's just a lot of stuff living in the same area, competing for the same space. But DX7 doesn't have that issue at all. It's, like I mentioned before, great on very busy stuff. Details also feel just a bit more defined on the DX7 than it is on the Alpha 3. Alpha 3 overall, the sound outlines are a little bit smoother, a little bit softer. But overall, I would recommend both of these sets. The DX7 is great, so is Alpha 3. Like, it's just literally pick your preference based on what you want, or also the fit, because, you know, earbuds are a little bit less universal on fit compared to like IEMs and headphones. So that brings us to my rec rating of the BGVP DX7. This is a solid rec rating 3 for me. I highly recommend the set. I feel like it's great value for the price, both in build, accessories, and performance. You're getting everything here. You're not going to be missing anything at all. If you choose to buy the set, it's one and done, complete package. And I feel like it can compete with stuff that's more expensive than it, just like the Alpha 3 can. Like Alpha 3 and DX7 to me are really good options. Well, including the Venture Electronics Master. I feel like these three sets are like the kings of anything under $200 for Flatheads. So you can pick one of these, you know, check out to see if Flatheads are for you, what they can offer. Because if sometimes when you go for those lower tier Flatheads, you don't get a full sense of what Flatheads are about. You might be able to test fit, but you're not going to get the full experience of what a good Flathead can do. So if you can try one of these three, then that would give you more of an idea. And it's a good mid-range set. For me, Flatheads like have a lot more value than like IEMs. So you can get some really decent stuff cheaper. I would pick one of these three until probably like a TGX earbud, like the Seratus. BGVP DX7, go ahead and check it out if you have the chance. Thank you guys for tuning in. Consider liking and subscribing. We're trying to make it to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Well, that's it, guys. I am Awesome Danny. And until next time, you stay awesome, friends. Bye.
When sunny purrs, so sweet. And I know it's gonna be so bright, 'cause we've got each other's back. Like playing in the sun. Meow. And chasing all the butterflies.